I'm Sarah. I read as Sora the Intuitive for Sky Messages by Sora. I am a tarot reader who specializes in past life readings. I also teach and mentor the tarot. I have two journals, one for learning the tarot and one for more learning yourself and deepening the connection with your deck. That one's a collaboration with Killer Pancake, who makes a couple of the decks I'll be reviewing. The reason I started this channel, and specifically this series, the tarot review series, is that I really want people to be able to have a connection. I want anyone who wants to do the tarot to be able to learn it. And a lot of times people get really frustrated because the first deck that they start using, they don't really connect with. And so I'm hoping that instead of getting frustrated or spending a lot of money on decks that they then realize they don't want, people can sort of start to learn what their style is, what theme they're looking for, what kind of imagery works for them, and help people find the right decks for them. I do believe that if there is a tarot deck out there, there is an audience for it. And if there is somebody who wants to learn, then there's definitely a deck for them. So this won't have star ratings. This won't be about what's good and bad. It'll be about the details, such as the guidebook, a level that it's good for, like basic to advanced. It will be, how close it is to the Rider-Waite or the Tarot de Marseille, or the Thoth for those who prefer that. And it will just give people a look and hopefully help them start to begin their journey. Or for those of us who have been on their journey for a while, but are thinking about new decks and testing out different things, give them a preview. So there are some of the decks behind me, but if there are any you're interested in, let me know. And let's get started. For this week's tarot deck review, we are looking at the Harmony Tarot by Harmony Nice. Quick note, this did come out about the same time as the Harmony Circle Tarot Journal, the collaboration I did with Killer Pancake Illustrations, but they're actually completely not related. We had no knowledge of each other, but it is a really beautiful deck, so I'm still very excited to show you. Starting out, we've got a really nice box, very nice decorations, nice details, and sturdy. The guidebook's fantastic. It's got a great biography or introduction, rather, to Harmony and her story with the tarot and her journey, which is really nice. It also has keywords and description for each card, very nice details, and 6 different spreads, which is nice for different levels of knowledge and just different timing that you want to do. I love the backs. They do shuffle really nicely. You'll see I actually kept them in order for the beginning of this video. That'll make more sense as we go along, but because they are fairly different, I wanted to be able to showcase certain things, and that just works better with this. And so we start with the goldfinch. And I love just these little details. You see, they're really beautiful. Lots of floral, very earth-centered, very nature-centered, which is really, really beautiful with the idea of this being a deck for self-care. The imagery is very soft, very beautiful, very cottagecore. And with the court cards, they stay the same, as you'll see. With the, I love this, with the Minor Arcana suit, you see that she uses different seasons. Oh, and I want to say real quickly, she does make the Fool 1 instead of 0, and so the 22nd card would be the World, which does mean you need to keep that in mind if you are used to the numerology of the major arcana for other systems. So it's just something to be mindful of, but it is really beautiful. So we have Spring, which is the Wands, and you can see now why I kept it in order for this, because you see the slow growth of the Wands or the Springs. And while I think that is really very cool in terms of looking at where you're growing and what to look out for, it does mean that it helps if you treat it like a pip deck or a playing card deck, or if you're used to keywords. But visually it's really cool because you can sort of see where you're growing or where you might need some help. And they're just really, I love this illustration. We have the Summer as the coins, or the cups, the Summer as the cups. And you can see that it even feels a little bit more emotional. And it's really beautiful. So this isn't necessarily a deck I would learn on unless you are learning a playing card style, or you're learning with another deck along with it, or this is going to be like your only deck. But it is a really nice one to have, especially if you're having a day where you really want help from the cards, but you want something calm and a little bit softer. For Autumn, we have the Swords. Usually when it's a season type thing, you see the Swords as winter, but as the Swords are the life's lesson suit, you can see how that would be that preparing for winter. So I don't think it's wrong. It's different, and it is one of those things I remind myself of when I use this. And then finally we have the Winter, which is the Pentacles. And you see the same progression that I just think is really beautiful. It's interesting to me that there's a spider web there because I have another deck where the Seven of Pentacles has spider references. So I find that really fun. But I really love how calm and sweet this deck is. I'm going to need to shuffle extra good, so I'm going to talk about the who it's good for and such while I shuffle so we can do our week ahead. But I do think the cycles are very cool. I think it is really nice if what you're looking for is progress or meditation, something where you're really thinking about it. These cards shuffle beautifully. So that helps too. They are like kind of the standard tarot size right now, which is nice if you have small hands like I do. I think it is really good for people who are fairly advanced or intermediate, especially if you are used to playing card decks or pip decks, or other, where when you look at the symbols and the card for clues, you are sort of used to that idea of looking for something being bigger or smaller, looking for the numbers, looking for that sort of thing. It's great for beginners who are a little bit nervous about the tarot, for people who worry about some of the darker themes. And it's not that she sugarcoats or gets away from the themes, it's just that these illustrations are so much calmer and so much easier, that they could just be less intimidating. So if you are looking for a more gentle tarot experience, this is a really good one. The guidebook is also really excellent. So if it's going to be your only tarot deck, that's wonderful. Again, I wouldn't learn on it unless it's going to be your only tarot deck, because it is kind of a practice into itself, which is also really nice. But it is a really nice one to have in your collection. Or again, it's a great one to be someone's only if they want to do tarot and want something just a little softer. So I continue and finish shuffling. I would like to thank you for liking, subscribing, checking out my social media. If you like these videos and you want them earlier or you want bonus content, head over to the Patreon. If to book a reading, you can go to my website, or you can go to my website, or you can email me. I will not contact you about readings. You will have to contact me. And let's get started. So the first one jumped. That is the Star. The Star is a card of hope, and specifically hope after trouble, after disaster. And you can see she's floating, she's in a place of calm and peace, and even though she doesn't necessarily have the evidence right there to show that she is going to be okay, she knows that, she trusts that. So it asks you to step out into this week with a feeling of faith and knowing that the good things are coming. Follow that with the Ace of Autumn, or the Ace of Swords. This is your epiphany, your aha moment. This is clarity. And I love that because it sort of takes that peace, that faith, and that like knowing that even though you don't have evidence, answers will come for your mind to clear enough to get that evidence and to get those answers. So I love these together, really beautiful. And then we have it with the Well. Now the Well is the Tower and usually speaks to that sort of destruction and devastation that we talk about coming after the Star. But here, given that we have the Star, or l'étoile, and the Ace of Autumn ahead of it, it feels more like using that experience, using that faith, using that calm, using that peace and that epiphany, those moments, to avoid disaster. So it's asking you to look at your foundations and see where the cracks are, so that you have a chance at fixing them or at dismantling them and rebuilding themselves, so that the universe doesn't step in, knock everything over, and make you start from scratch. It is asking you what needs to be redone, and if you can do it yourself, if you can pull those pieces down and then build them back up. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.